The On Cloudmonster 2 just released, and yet we have a new Cloudmonster. This is the Cloudmonster Hyper. It's the ultimate training shoe from On, and let's see if it delivers on its promises. Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex with Meta Endurance. In today's video, we have the On Cloudmonster Hyper. Now, if you are following the channel, you know that a few weeks ago we released the first impressions video of the On Cloudmonster 2. What's the difference between these two shoes? Because yes, they are very different. Well, the Cloudmonster 2 is just the update to the Cloudmonster. The Cloudmonster Hyper, on the other hand, is a very innovative, different shoe, a training companion, a high-end training companion to the Cloudboom Echo 3. This shoe was sent to us by On, and we have no obligation to say anything good or anything special about this shoe. We will just review it like any other shoe. I received it almost a month ago before even going to Tokyo for a Tokyo Marathon. So I have already 54 kilometers on this shoe, and I'm very confident to give you a full rundown on how it works and why you should buy it, if you should buy it. Let's look at the specs, and we have a 37.5 millimeters of stack height in the heel, 31.5 in the forefoot, 6 millimeters drop. It does feel like a whole lot more. I don't know if On is measuring it right here at the center like they should, and that's maybe why you are missing out on a few millimeters of stack height in these numbers. I feel like this shoe is more of a 42 in the heel, 36 in the forefoot type of feeling, which is a good thing for that training shoe that On has designed as a high-end training shoe. Looking at the weight of the shoe in my size US 11, we're looking at 288 grams, which is almost 30 grams lighter than the Cloudmonster 2. It does feel a bit lighter than the Cloudmonster 2 when running, indeed, and those 30 grams make a difference, especially for longer sessions when you want to go, for longer distances. That's going to be a nice advantage comparing this shoe to the Cloudmonster 2. Price point, we're looking at $220, 230 euros. Is it too much? Is it appropriate? We can discuss that at the end of the video. I will let you know my conclusion on this shoe, my recommendations in terms of should you buy it or not. So stay tuned for that at the end of this review. Looking at the upper, we have a very nice engineered mesh upper with very technical work done on specific parts here in the forefoot. Also here on the lateral side, you have those nice pieces of engineered mesh, and the rest of it is actually a thin and very, feels like a very technical, very high-end material. It does run a bit long, just like the Cloud Eclipse, just like the Cloudmonster 2. It feels a bit long, and it's quite accommodating. You will have many different people with many different foot width and foot volumes being able to use this shoe, which is a good thing on the one hand, a bit of a less good thing on the other hand if, like me, you prefer a snugger fit. I had an issue with the fit of the Cloud Eclipse. I didn't really like the fit of the Cloudmonster 2, and this is again, they're using this last on this shoe that I believe could be a touch narrower. Yeah, that's just my opinion, but that's based on my foot shape, and I do believe that on the good side of things, this will again, accommodate many different people. Laces, nothing too specific. I had to double lace them. They are really, really, really long, and I don't know why. I would suggest that you change them. If you do a runner's knot like I did, the tongue doesn't go high enough to protect you from having that extra line of laces cutting into your ankle. So runner's knot does not work for me on this shoe. I would have liked to use it because, again, because of the length of the shoe, of the fit, I think the runner's knot would have done a good job at securing a bit of a better lockdown. But unfortunately, the tongue doesn't go high enough, doesn't run high enough to protect you from that cutting effect of the laces. So you have to live with longer laces and no runner's knot. That's the bottom line here on this shoe. The padding is reasonable. The heel counter story is relatively stout, not the firmest ever. There's a nice touch on the insole saying fresh legs, fast legs. That's true. And moving to the midsole, the question is it actually a shoe that keeps your legs fresh? And why would it keep your leg fresh? Well, basically because On has implemented the classic maximalist Cloud tech here in the heel and running actually full length. But as you can see, starting somewhere here, 3/4 of the shoe in the heel, and to the forefoot you have that white layer of Pebax foam, Hyper Pebax as they call it at On. It helps you basically to have a lot more cushion, a lot more of that protecting effect in the midfoot and in the forefoot. The heel remains quite firm. You know, heel landings are on the firmer side of things. The good thing is that it's a super stable ride and one that actually will prevent you from having issues like shin splints, which I was suffering from in the past. I could see why this shoe, taken to a very high mileage, will prevent you from having any of those issues coming from too much compression on the medial side. You know, the firmer foam definitely helps reducing that compressive effect. The width of the platform is also pretty impressive and again, will help you have that nice you know, step on the ground and without having too much of that unstable feel. Do you feel the Pebax in this shoe? Depending on where you land, I think you will or will not feel it. As you know, I'm a midfoot striker, and I read a comment recently on our Instagram account saying that midfoot strikers are basically heel strikers that transition a bit faster than other people to the forefoot, which I believe to a certain extent is true. I still believe there's a heel strike, a midfoot strike, and a forefoot strike. But nevertheless, I'm a midfoot striker and I don't necessarily feel the Pebax in the area in which I am landing. I do feel it a bit more in the forefoot. On the other hand, if you go on our website metaendurance.com, you will read Andy's review. He's a forefoot striker with a very high cadence. He's enjoying that shoe a lot more than I do. I believe mostly because the Pebax is really here in the forefoot and that's where you benefit from it. And why is this shoe a super trainer? Well, simply because, as said on the insole sock liner, fresh legs, fast legs, and this shoe really helps your legs to be fresh. It does that because I think really the Pebax here is key and it absorbs the shocks. It also acts as a shoe that can do pretty much anything, and when you are running high volume, you want to have that shoe that can handle lots of easy miles, but also, you know, picking up the pace and have your legs kind of moving at the pace they actually need to move at. It helps you to have that shoe in your rotation, and I think the Cloudmonster Hyper is one of these shoes. How would I describe it? It's reliable, it's a workhorse, and it's I would say less exciting than what I expected, but probably more promising in terms of how it will deliver day to day to day, day after day after day in your shoe rotation. I had big hopes for this shoe as being one of the shoes I will use a lot in 2024. I don't think I will use it as much as I plan to, but I definitely think it will get much more kilometers than the 54 it has now. And that's simply because, again, it's reliable. And sometimes you just want to have a reliable shoe, and I would go for this one. Price point, $220, 230 euros, too expensive. And I'm saying that especially keeping in mind that this is a super premium trainer that should go along with the Cloudboom Eco. And if you want to buy the two shoes, Cloudboom Eco 3 and Cloudmonster Hyper, you have to have a certain budget to be able to do that. I would love to see super trainers capped at 180 euros, maybe 190. Over 200, I think is a big ask. So again, you know, I'm asking brands to try and keep prices reasonable. I know that they also have the reasons and good reasons most of the time to do what they do with the prices. But I think value for money here is probably not as good as some other shoes on the market. That being said, if you're looking for that shoe with a slab of Peba and that very characteristic ride of the Cloudmonster that I actually love personally, and that many of you actually loved as well on the previous version and on the Cloudmonster 2, well, this is the shoe that you need to look into. This is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Let's link to the review of the On Cloudmonster 2. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. And especially, do you want to have a comparison between the Cloudmonster 2 and the Cloudmonster Hyper? How to use them, which one to choose, should you have both, and other questions. I'm happy to know, I'm happy to shoot that video for you. Thanks for watching, enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and go beyond your limits. I'll see you in the next one.